5:54, and we are on the go with Joe, and today's assignment has him feeling eager as a beaver. Joe is visiting a local company that for 80 years has made condiments like beaver horseradish, and he joins us live with a behind-the-scenes look at the Beaverton Foods.
Hey, good morning there, Deb. And yeah, I'm joined right now by Mr. Dominic Beege. Dominic, how are you this morning?
Good morning.
Well, thank you for having us out here. As Deb said, for over 80 years, Beaverton Foods has made products like Beaverton horseradish, Engelhofer mustard. Dominic's grandmother started it over 80 years ago. How many products do you do now?
Oh, we're doing probably 600 different formulas here now.
Wow, and that runs the gamut of all...
Dressings, barbecue sauce, horseradish and mustard is what we're famous for, but we certainly do a lot of salsas and marinades and other things as well.
Now, it started, as we said, about 81 years ago. Your grandmother just started making horseradish?
Yes, she was a farmer in Beaverton, and Beaverton was very famous for the horseradish and the quality of horseradish. But during the Depression, the roots couldn't come in and they couldn't go out, and so she started bottling it, and her very first customer was Mrs. Eve Meyer, whose husband was Fred Meyer.
Heard of him?
And heard of them. And gave my grandma the first break to get her product into grocery stores, and she was encouraged by that and kept going.
I want to show what they call this room right here. It says right up there, Grandma's Kitchen, because while that's where it started for her, this is where it starts for you, right? Where are we right now?
We are in our quality control R&D lab right now, and this is where we create product, and we also do a lot of testing as well of our existing formulas.
Very cool stuff. So throughout the morning, we're going to take you through the process. You're going to see exactly how these make these products that are literally sold all over the country. I mean, different continents, different countries, you name it. And you can learn more about Beaverton Foods, of course, at kptv.com. Deb, lots of tasty stuff coming up a little bit later in the show. Let's send it back to you in the studio.
All right, Joe, thanks.
We are on the go with Joe, and today Joe hopes that he can cut the mustard. He's with a local company that makes mustard, horseradish, and other products that are sold around the world. Joe joins us live with a behind-the-scenes look at Beaverton Foods. And Joe, I have to say, one of my favorite products is the wasabi mustard.
Ah, this one
yes.
right here. Well, actually, yeah, we've got a number of products. You know, they do a couple hundred different products here at Beaverton Foods, from the beaver horseradish, the Engelhofer mustard. Back here with Dominic Beege once again. And we're in the R&D lab. Is that correct?
Correct, yeah.
And what is George doing right now?
Well, he's working on a reformulation of an existing product. We have a quality safety, food safety program we're trying to qualify for, and we have to rework some of our formulas. And so he's reworking a formula to get a certificate. So
while we don't think about it, you know, when we're putting that mustard or that horseradish or whatever on the table, there's a lot of science behind it, correct?
Absolutely. You know, and food safety is very, very important. People want to know what's in their food, and they want to know that the label is accurate and the ingredients are safe, and we take great pains to do that here. And
so every day, pretty much, George and the crew in the lab are working on something. Because as we said, you bottle hundreds of different recipes, correct?
Yeah, and we get several people a week coming into us with a formula they want us to make it for them. So we have to do some creation and make it safe and make it you know, safe out there at the grocery stores for consumers.
It's evolved a lot since it all began in George's grandmother's cellar. Now, as we said, they're selling their products all over the world. For more on Beaverton Foods, just go to kptv.com. Dominic and George, thank you guys. Appreciate it. And Kim, we're going to take you behind the scenes a little bit more with Beaverton Foods later in the show. We'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right, Joe, thank you.
This morning, Joe V is adding a little spice to his segment. He joins us live with more from Beaverton Foods. Morning, Joe.
Hey, good morning there, Deb. And yeah, you know, for over 80 years, they've put horseradish on your table, mustard, you name it. And coming up next, we're taking you inside Beaverton Foods. That's straight ahead on Good Day Oregon, first live local.
6:53, and we're on the go with Joe, and he's at a local company that's been spicing things up for over 80 years. Joe joins us live with another behind-the-scenes look at Beaverton Foods. Hi, Joe.
Hey, good morning, Deb. And yeah, for over 80 years, they've made beaver horseradish, a number of products that I'm sure you're familiar with, back with Dominic Beege inside Beaverton Foods. And Dominic, as we said, you bottle for over 100 other companies as well.
Correct.
And this is one barbecue sauce that you're working on right now.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about kind of the process here. You know, where does it start? Where does it end here?
Yeah, well, we saw how we make a formula there in the lab, and then we bring it out here, we scale it up to this 100-gallon steam jet jacket. But we got the horseradish over here, and the mustards over here, all the ingredients back behind us, and it comes together here, and we got Trey make it a batch in here, and it'll circulate and go through here and get nice and creamy and smooth and get the texture we want. And bring it up to temperature to keep it safe, and then we'll bottle it over here.
You'll bottle it up here and then send it out. You know, there's 70-plus people working here.
72 people, yes.
And you said this is kind of your busy time of year. This is when people are really kind of cranking out a lot of stuff. Why is that again?
Well, because we're getting ready for the holidays. We got to make the product now, and it's got to go to distributors and then get in the stores, and then getting ready for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Very nice. Now, how far away are your products sold? Just out of
We sell in
curiosity.
97% of the grocery stores in the United States, all over Canada, and another dozen foreign countries. We just got into Great Britain here about 3 weeks ago. So
Jolly good. So you can have a little horseradish with your crumpets now in London. And if you want to learn more about Beaverton Foods, just log on to kptv.com. Now we're going to take you throughout the process. It's really cool to see how all this stuff makes it to your dinner table, and we're going to show you more of that coming up a little bit later in the show. Dominic, thank you so much.
You bet.
Deb, we'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right, Joe, thanks.
We know KPTV's Joe V can cut the rug, but did you know he can also cut the mustard? He's hanging out with the folks at Beaverton Foods this morning. Hi, Joe.
Hey, good morning there, Kim. And yeah, for over 80 years, they've made mustard, horseradish, all sorts of tasty stuff for your kitchen table. We're going to take you inside Beaverton Foods. That's coming up on Good Day Oregon, first live local.
On KPTV's Joe V is spicing up his morning routine with a trip to Beaverton Foods. The company's built its reputation on some of the zippiest and spiciest mustards on the market. Hey, Joe.
And we're going to show you how something like this, you even know what this is, makes its way to your dinner table. That's as we take you inside Beaverton Foods next on Good Day Oregon, first live local.
We are on the go with Joe, and today's assignment has him feeling eager as a beaver. Joe is visiting a local company that for 80 years has made condiments like beaver horseradish, and he joins us live with a behind-the-scenes look at Beaverton Foods. Hi, Joe.
Hey, good morning, Deb. Yeah, I'm back here now with Dominic BG, and we are inside Beaverton Foods. You know, it began 80 years ago with Dominic's grandmother making horseradish in her cellar. It's grown a bit since then. They sell Beaverton horseradish and a number of other condiments all over the world. Now, what are we looking at right here? What is this production line?
we're washing the product here.
This is a horseradish root, in case you're wondering, right? A horseradish root.
We get all our roots out of the Klamath Basin down to Lake from the Soyce family. They come up here flatbed trucks, we wash it. You see it's being conveyed up there. Then up top we'll sort it out into batches, and then we come over on the other side of the wall here and we're grinding it up.
How many of these roots do you go through? There seems like this giant volume. Because actually, if we look up here, we've got this big old bag of horseradish roots that again came from the Klamath area. And that's what's going in the machine. So how much horseradish are going through?
We process about 2 million pounds of roots per year here.
Whoa! My gosh, that's a lot of horseradish. Let's go show it in a form that people might be a little bit more familiar with. Because after it's been taken up there and, I don't know, inspected or whatever, it's eventually going to get thrown into these machines. What's going on right here? It says horseradish grinding station, so I guess it's pretty self-explanatory. What's going on in this machine?
The machine's in there, it's being ground down into little small particulates, and then here we add some vinegar and some water and salt and sugar.
Kind of makes your eyes water when you get this close to it, you know?
No sinus problems in this plant.
I would say so.
Nobody calls in with a cold.
Now, the thing is you sell a bunch of different kind of products, horseradish-related products, you name it. So, like, for instance, if you get the wasabi horseradish or something, what does this get mixed with something else?
We'll take it over to this other area over here, a mixing area, and we'll add mayonnaise or the wasabi roots or a mustard to create a different product, a different sauce.
And then they bottle it up, they sell it literally all over the world. I mean, as far away as England, you name it, throughout the United States, and a number of other products too. We're going to show you some of those coming up a little bit later in the show. If you want to learn more about Beaverton Foods, just log on to kptv.com. Dominic, thank you so much. Appreciate it. And we've got more coming up a little bit later in the show. Right now, it's Joe B. Ooh, my eyes are watering. You're watching Good Day Oregon, first live local.